Well, hello everyone and welcome to Thursday's edition of Daily Reptile News. Now, I just want to take a moment before we get into the news to thank everybody. Now, it's going to be a couple days before final statistics finally come in, but I'm just super happy that in the month of June, so far, as of yesterday, Daily Reptile News has been viewed 55,000 times, and that's just an amazing number, 55,000 times in the month of June. Thank you, and now let's get into the news. Now, this story is actually spurred by a whole lot of stuff I've been seeing on the social networks lately, and I just saw one on the Daily Reptile News Facebook page yesterday, I believe it was, and that is about animal abuse laws and everything, and about how I mean, we see it all over the place that, you know, if that was a furry little puppy, those people would be in jail. Blah blah yada yada. I think you know the story I'm talking about, but I really think what it comes down to is there's just generally, I mean, we hear more about it because there's just generally more people that keep nice little furry kittens and puppies than there are that keep awesome reptiles. And not only that, of course, the furriness of the other animals kind of hits closer to the bleeding hearts of society and the things that media wants to talk about, as opposed to a reptile. But that being said, I want to let you know that it does go both ways, actually. And what I mean by that is currently a Johnsonville property owner is facing 15 counts of animal cruelty for abandoning his snakes in his house. Apparently he had a whole bunch of venomous snakes in his house, and he was served a warning because his property was overgrown. Eventually, local code enforcement learned that he might have venomous snakes in the house, and through speaking with relatives as well as animal control, I guess they recovered 9 pretty bad off snakes and 6 dead ones. The house was said to be full of flies. The power, heat, everything was shut off, and yeah, 15 counts of animal cruelty for abandoning his snakes. So there you go. See, it does go both ways. And now we're going to move on to Florida, where 2 men are facing charges for trying to fish an alligator out of the water. Apparently they said they did it on accident. And you know, I just love this judge's sense of humor in this case, if you will. Judge Hurley is quoted in the article as saying, "Boy, that's some dumb luck, huh? Just accidentally had an alligator." And I agree with him. You accidentally had an alligator. No. Now, something very interesting about this story is it happened at a dock at Everglades Holiday Park, which and you know, I don't keep up with the modern day reptile programming too much because, to be honest, I just don't like it. But according to this news article, that is where Animal Planet's Gator Boys used to be filmed. So I'm not sure if it's still being filmed but somewhere else, or not being filmed, but just that one little sentence in there was enough to kind of intrigue me. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more reading about why they used to be filmed there. But anyway, let's move on. And now we're going to move on to our top story of the day, which is the squirrel versus the snake. Now, this, of course, is not a new story. It's been around the internet for a few days now, going quite crazy, I might add. And I've really kind of gotten a good giggle out of reading a lot of the comments on the news stories. And it actually, you know, it wasn't really a news story. To me, it wasn't something I was interested in talking about until just yesterday, when a coworker of mine asked me if I saw the video on the news about the squirrel and the snake. And I actually did see the video when it first came out, and of course here you see a little clip of it here. But like I said, it didn't really interest me until I realized that I think probably 90% of the people seeing this video in the world right now probably don't understand what's going on, even though I've read news articles that kind of explain what they think is going on. Now, to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised that this snake didn't kill the squirrel. It should have, for all intents and purposes, and I don't understand why it didn't. But of course, I am not a biologist or a herpetologist. I can't explain that really, but officials say that they believe the squirrel's reaction towards the snake was because it possibly had a nest nearby. The bad news is that they took the time to film and giggle at it before they finally broke the 2 up, which they did eventually break the 2 up. Both of them suffered a few little injuries, but they were both sent right back out into the wild where they belong, which kind of to me, leaves an awesome end to this story, where most places the snake may have probably been killed while the squirrel retreated back to its home. Now we're going to move on to a Coventry secondary school where there was apparently a fire in a classroom. The fire is said to be started by some video equipment that's normally used for watching birds, and apparently firefighters were able to rescue the animals, which included reptiles, from the classroom. They say that the fire was contained just to the one room, and so yeah, I guess a happy ending to that story, which could have been much more tragic. And that, my friends, has been all your news for this Thursday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, that link's right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you next time.